Joining me now, we have Congressman Brendan Boyle, Democrat from Pennsylvania. He is ranking member on the House Budget Committee and a member of the Ways and Means Committee. Welcome back to the show, Congressman. Glad to have you. So today, as you know, the president is threatening to revive his so-called anti-weaponization fund in the form of a bill, which could potentially compensate January 6 rioters. You wrote, sir, on X that he seems fixated on handing tax dollars to people who assaulted police officers. But a few weeks ago, Republicans rejected your amendment to block taxpayer funding for violent criminals. So will lawmakers approve his weaponization bill?
Well, it remains an open question. Unfortunately, my amendment did fail on the House floor and shows you what has been a trend really for the last year and a half, and that is Republicans will talk tough on social media or in front of your cameras and microphones. But then when it comes to the votes, when they actually have a chance to kill this thing once and for all, they shrink from their responsibility and bend the knee to their dear leader, Donald Trump. The reality is, as Senator Tillis pointed out using alliteration, this is a payout pot for punks. This is a slush fund to reward common criminals who beat up and assault police officers, over 140 of whom had documented injuries.
See what I mean with alliteration? It sticks with you. Anyway, so Trump administration cuts to Medicare and the Affordable Care Act, they have created a spike in uninsured patients showing up at hospitals. And senior citizen voters, they're going to start getting notices about Medicare changes, all just weeks before the midterms in November. But here's what the president said yesterday. Let's watch.
We have the lowest drug prices anywhere in the world from the highest drug prices anywhere in the world. Now, what that does for your health care, I mean, I see these fake polls where the Democrats have wonderful numbers on this stuff, and they are horrible what they've done. Obamacare is a total disaster. It's a costly wreck. It's unaffordable. We call it the Unaffordable Care Act. It's a disgrace.
Just what you heard right there. Does any of that reflect what you're hearing from seniors in Pennsylvania?
No, not at all. I mean, here are the simple facts. Exactly a year ago, Republicans in Congress passed and the president signed into law his mega tax bill. That included over $5 trillion worth of tax cuts that mostly went to billionaires and powerful corporations. And it was paid for in part by the single largest cuts to health care in American history. Cuts to Medicaid, cuts to Medicare, cuts to Obamacare. And now, 1 year later, exactly as I predicted, and frankly, as every nonpartisan source predicted as well, you have millions of people who have lost their health care, millions more who will lose it, mind you, beginning in December once the Medicaid cuts come fully into effect. On top of that, you also have tens of millions more who may not have lost their health care, but as a result of all those cuts to providers, now premiums are up literally double digits on average in my state and every single state throughout the nation.
70% of Americans in a new poll disapprove of Trump's handling of the economy, while 75% disapprove of how he's handling inflation. And this is the message from the White House. Take a listen.
Look for the second quarter of 2026 to be amazing as all this money comes back into the economy from this big, beautiful bill, which really takes care of Americans.
Right now, the economy does look amazing to me. The inflation's going down. The unemployment rate is low. Initial claims like almost no one's getting fired.
Walmart, Sam's Club, Giant Eagle, and others are slashing prices by hundreds of grocery stores and all of the stores. I mean, throughout the country, they're slashing prices.
Everything's amazing, according to Lutnick and Hassett, until you actually look at the Q2 numbers, which reflect a slowing, not growing economy. Will Pennsylvanians pay more attention to comments or the cost of what they are buying?
Yeah, look, well, first, Howard Lutnick, I have to say, reminds me of the guy who sold me my first used car 25 years ago. It proved to be a lemon. So the reality is this is an administration who just a year ago at this time was saying, just wait, the second quarter of next year, it is going to be incredible, unbelievable. They're loosely pulling away the football, but saying, no, believe us this time. It'll be really good. The American people recognize the reality because they pay the price every single day. They're the ones who are paying gas prices that are 50% higher than they were just 5 months ago. They're the ones who are paying a record high for food prices, a record high for imported goods because of the Trump tariffs that have been in place over the last year. I could go on and on. The reality is this: these are the worst economic poll ratings for any president going back 20 years. The last time a president had such low approval ratings on the economy was George W. Bush at the beginning of the Great Recession. You don't get ratings that low unless things really, truly are bad, and they are.
And let me add this. The Iran war is driving oil company profits to the highest level in years. ExxonMobil reported earnings of $14.5 billion between just April and June, more than double its second quarter earnings of last year. So how do Pennsylvania voters feel about the gas prices they are forced to pay amid skyrocketing oil company profits?
Yeah, the day before Trump launched his reckless and completely unnecessary Iran war, gas prices in my area were an average of $2.98 a gallon. Today, they are well north of $4 a gallon, and they have climbed again this past week. So the people of Pennsylvania, like the people nationwide, are paying a much higher cost as a result of Trump's reckless foreign policy. But, of course, the major oil companies are the one true entity that can say Donald Trump has been great for their bottom line. It's just too bad that it's middle-class and working Americans who are paying the price.
Congressman Brendan Boyle, it's good to talk with you. Thank you so much for your time.